Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 255 of the RRBG podcast. This podcast is a proud member of the Podbelly Network. Go to podbelly.com and check out all the amazing shows we have on our network, including the Sofa King podcast, Robots for Eyes, Art and Jacob Do America. I mean, there's one for everything that you're into. If you're into Magic the Gathering, they got you. If you're into the occult, they got you. You're into serial killers, they got you. Everything. Go to podbelly.com, check out the list, and support the network. This episode is also brought to you by Killcliff. My friends over at Killcliff make the best energy drink you can buy in the market today. Clean energy, none of that crap that they put in Monster or any of those Red Bulls. No sugar, just clean power for all the grind you're going to have to put in today. And if you're not grinding today and you just want to relax, they also have CBD drinks to help you recover from any injuries you may have, any kind of inflammation. Maybe you went a little too hard at the gym. CBD drink will get you right back on track. Go to their website, killcliff.com. Check out all their different flavors. My personal favorite Ignite drink is the Cherry Limeade. And in the CBD category, you have to try the Joe Rogan Special. It's the Flaming Joe Pineapple with Jalapeno. It's not that spicy. You just get a little bit of a kick at the end. It's delicious. Go to killcliff.com and tell them that RRBG sent you. This podcast is also brought to you by Saints Joints. Go to saintsjoints.com and check out all the awesome products they have there, including the new Book of Saints that comes with 4 packs of pre-rolled joints. It's this incredible, lavish, luxurious-looking gold foil stash box. The works. It's the best-looking stash box I've seen. Make sure to go pick one up before they're all gone. And also check out the new hash-infused pre-rolls. Don't forget, it's saintsjoints.com, and make sure you tell them that we sent you. In this episode, I talked to Jake Casualty of the Casualties. They're about to hit the road with Piñata protests for their U.S. winter tour. We talk about getting back on the road after the pandemic. We talked about his childhood and what inspired him to become a musician. We talked about his songwriting process. We talked about beer. It was a fun conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to follow him at Jake_Casualty or check out the Casualties online. If you're into punk music, you already know, so go catch him on the road. And please, if you get a chance, check out our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/RRBG. Cheers. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm here with Jake Casualty of the Casualties. How are you, brother?
What's up, man? Good. I can't complain, man. I got a tour coming up. I'm happy.
Hell yeah! How's that feeling for you? Because I know that it's been a rough year and a half, 2 years. So are you excited?
Yeah, it's been like fuck. Yeah, you're right. About 2 years solid. So it's nice to be like out there again. I can't wait.
Yeah. Are there any nerves? I mean, I know that there's the nerves, the usual nerves of being out in the public and everything, but I'm like, are there any extra nerves now because of this whole thing and all the protocols and all that?
No, I don't know, man. I'm not too like concerned with it that much. I'm not, I know it's like, we all know that there's like scared to shake everybody's hand and all that kind of shit. I just don't care. I don't care, but I do care. I mean, like, I won't be careless, but it's like, I can't, at a certain point, you just got to live your life. And, it's like, dude, do you go out there and hang out with the fans? I think you got to. I don't know. I don't want to, I want human contact. It's been 2 years without any kind of like hanging out with people, even my own band. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
It's kind of like, I'm looking forward to it, man. And I think it's like, you got to go out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, I mean, a lot of these shows are like vaccine mandated and everything. So there's a little, extra protection involved.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of arguments out there and it's like, I just choose to like be like, you know what, I'm not going to get into it with everybody. You know, I have no interest in doing that. It's like such a, to me, kind of a petty argument. And like, I have my views on it and I'm just going my way with it. And I'm not projecting that out there on others. You know, it's like, you feel how you want to fucking feel about it. I really don't give a shit.
You just want to fucking rock. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's it, man. And I like life rolls on, man. We all got to go at some point. I just hope it's not for me. I don't want to be on a fucking ventilator. So,
well, right. Yeah,
that's my thing.
There's that too. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been struggling with the going back to shows. Like, you know, yeah. I want to do it. Obviously, that's my life. You know, but it's rough. You know. Just hearing all the things, and you try and have that punk rock lifestyle, like, oh, fuck you, I don't, you know, I'm going to live my life, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Like, none of these things are wrong to feel. Like, you know, we're all, not even the whole world doesn't know what to fucking do. Like, and our governments and you know, the fucking all the leaders and everybody that's like kind of trying to do these things are like, they don't even know what to do, really.
No, they've never known what to do. They don't know what they're doing. It's insane. Well, but you know, as I told people, like the crazier the government gets, the better the punk music gets.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Have you had any chance to like sit around and write music while, you know, you weren't on tour and all that? Have you guys been working on new music?
We loosely, like, I've been doing my usual thing, like a lot of riffs and stuff. Like, you know, a chorus will pop into my mind from time to time. Okay. You know, I think that's what, you know, 2 years of not dealing with all this shit, then like having friends die, having girlfriend left me, and all the shit. Like, you just, music kind of just comes to you, you know, when you're dealing with pain. It's like, right. And so it's kind of like, shit'll just pop into my head while I'm working, and I'll just stop and like, all right, I got to put this down, you know? And sometimes it's just lyrics. Sometimes it's a riff that I got to hum into the phone and then record it later, or try to record it. And then, you know, and then my, the band, the guys will help me out too, like take that to the next level. But right now there's just a lot of ideas and fucking, just like snippets of like, this would be a strong chorus for this idea I got, but I don't want to write the whole thing. I want to let the other guys contribute.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, it's got to be a group effort.
Yeah, I think so. Because then it's like you get into like, this is my song. It's like we want it to be the band song, you know. Even if one guy writes like 80%, it's like you want everybody else to be able to like contribute, you know. I mean, that's how we're doing it.
Cool. So, I mean, you know, I would assume you're going to keep working on it through tour. Do you guys write on the road too, or is that something?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll hopefully we'll get some like a new album maybe next year if everything works out. You know, probably.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We're usually we will like jam during like sound check and stuff, or like get a couple of good ideas. But I mean, I think the band, you know, the short version is we like sometimes it's better when we have a deadline and it's like, okay, let's start working, you know. And it's, I hate to say it sounds like working. It's not. It is fun work, but it's work. You know, I got to fly down there and like get with the guys in Austin, all the way from Montauk out in Long Island. Ooh. And Rick is all the way in LA. So it's like everybody has to sort of get there and write together, you know. It just is what it is. There's no way around it. You know, you could write from home, but it's not the same. You got to like feel it, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely that intangible thing where when you're jamming with your buddies that you can't really replicate through emails and shit. You got to be in the same room. You got to have a couple beers together, whatever it is, to kind of like set the vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I
agree. It's always fun to crack a six-pack because you know you're going to be there for hours. Right. And just get a good vibe going. And sometimes it's like, I don't know if it feels like cliche to say, but you get like a tone, and then you hit a few notes, you know, that you fucking hanging on that riff. And that was what ACA, like 1312, when we wrote that, it was kind of like, I remember going to the studio and I had this SG and I was just like fucking rocking on this one note, and it's just like the phrasing of it, of the picking just kind of came out, and then everybody's kind of like, what's that? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be an intricate thing, and you go back to that simplicity, like less is more. And with fucking punk bands, sometimes it's true, you know?
Yeah, it's odd. You know, punk is something that I've always loved. I grew up listening to it, but you can't deviate too much when writing punk music, right? Yeah. Otherwise, it's not punk anymore.
Yeah, it's not catchy. Well, you want to be like, yeah, that song was fucking cool. Like a, good anthem. I think anthems are always funner than the look how good I can play. You know?
Right.
Because then it's less about ego and more about the unit and passion of the band.
Yeah, and the audience having the crowd yell it back to you is kind of like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. I made a career off that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Writing these songs, you're telling me, you experienced some loss. You had some friends or family that passed away. You also had relationship loss. Do you find that? When you write music, I know you say, it comes to you and you just kind of jot it down, but do you ever intentionally write for something like that? Like, I'm going to write a song about this breakup, or I'm going to write a song about my buddy that passed away. And, when you're doing that, like, does it hurt later on when you're playing that song to get those memories back? I
suppose it does. I felt like that before, but I also think once you get it out, and it's in a song, it lessens that. It maybe even helps it to be like, that's what I was feeling then, and a lot of good songs come from that kind of shit, as we all know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, none of our situations are special. Everybody's going to have friends that pass away and breakups, and like, no one's suffering more than someone else in those cases when you really love someone, or you really love a friend. No one's special. That's what I've learned over the years. It's like, other people go through this shit, but it's like, if you can do something with it, that energy, like, it can be like in some sort of form of art, and like, so my thing is like, let me fucking write about this a little bit, and and I think once you get those things out and in a song or in a fucking painting, whatever you do, for me it's like a cool riff and some lyrical ideas paying tribute to something, or if I felt like I was kind of fucked over or something, it's kind of like it's you get it out, man, so it's just better, and you're like, yeah, and then you're kind of like, that's where I was at that time, so I think it's kind of like, it helps.
It gives you closure.
That's the long answer.
That's a long answer. Yeah, it gives you closure. I mean, I get it. I have seen some bands that, they're like, I'm not playing that song ever again.
Because, that's sad, though. That sucks.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I'm glad to hear, at least you use it as some kind of cathartic, therapy thing, that let it out and get it out of you. And when you play it, it's more of a tribute to that moment in time than having to rehash, memories or whatever.
Yeah, and then you kind of you don't put those memories to bed, but you get over that time in your life when that heavy shit goes down. And we've all I suppose that these 2 years, like, everybody has had some kind of fucked up shit going.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe all at once, all of us. So like some kind of something in the way of that time. Pandemic has really strained any kind of fucking like thing like that. Like, put relationships to the test, put friendships to the test. So it's kind of like, I'm sure everybody out there is feeling things like that. And I think that's why shows will be probably fucking amazing. Like, just for the band and the people in the audience, like the return of just all the emotion that's going to pour out, and all the people that can finally, like, not like finally, but we can all like be together and like kind of have those feelings together, like slam dancing is going to be going pretty good.
Yeah,
the pogo will be real.
Hell yeah, man. I can't do that anymore. I can't slam dance anymore. I'm turning 40 in a couple weeks. I'm like, I'm going to break a knee. Like, something's going to happen here.
Yeah.
But, I miss it. It's one of those things. There's no feeling like being in the middle of a show band's rocking and you're in there with people. There's just nothing like it, man. There's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. From the small ones to the big ones, you know?
Do you prefer smaller shows? I know that, the dream when you're in a band is like big shows, festivals, but like some bands, I know they prefer like a smaller venue because it's more personal, more intimate.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's, there's a fine line. Like, yeah, I want to play the fucking huge arena. Of course I do. Like, fucking A, yeah. I wanted to be a rock star since I was a kid. Like, yes, I want to play big shows. I think people would be lying if they told you different, but it depends. Like the smaller shows are fucking, of course they're cool. Like it's the vibe, like if the vibe and energy is there, which can be at the bigger shows too, but like the energy of like a small show when it's going off and maybe people have had just the right amount of alcohol and it's just a good party or something, Not that you have to do that, but what I'm saying is like, those basement shows or like small like clubs, if the sound is, it comes down to everything. Sound's got to be good. If the atmosphere is good and the energy of the people going to the show, then yes, like the small ones are fucking awesome. But it's I want to play to 1,000 people too. It's like that can be just as crazy. I remember we did a few shows over the years, and there was like 3 circle pits going at one time. I remember like the Wall of Death in like Rock and El Parque in Colombia, in Bogota, was fucking huge. But then I totally love CBGBs. Those shows were great too. And then once in a while we'll do like a small basement one out of nowhere in like the Midwest. It's fucking cool. It's good to have like the if you can't play the little shows with 100% as much energy as you do the big shows, like let's say a festival in Europe or something in front of like a couple thousand people, then you don't deserve if you can't do those little shows with 100%, you don't deserve the big shows with 100%.
Sure. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. I've always had that mentality. I was in a band for a while and it was always like, just play like it's your last show. You never know. Right. You never know who's there. You never know who's, even if it's 5 people, like destroy those people's lives. You know what I mean? Send those 5 people home with like, oh my God, what the hell did I just see? That's what you got to do.
Do the whole fucking thing like every night, the same as you would as the big. I totally believe in that. Like, there's no like, oh, there's only 50 people here. I'm not gonna like, jump or like, fucking bang my head as much or something, or like get as passionate. Like, no, I'm turning that fucking switch on. And you gotta, and that's also like when it gets talked about, like, they played a sick fucking, any band. I mean, not just the Casualties, but like any band, you'd be like, I saw those guys in front of 20 people and they played like they were playing in front of 5,000. That's right. What, to me, is like, okay, this band's fucking great. So I try to do that.
So what would be the biggest show you've played that you can think of? What's the biggest amount of people you've had in front of you?
It was definitely the one in Colombia, the Rock and El Parque that I was just talking about. It's just this awesome thing where I think it's like a free festival for the country or something. But it's all metal and punk. So it's like, you have this, I think it's like 3 days. I'm not exactly sure, but it was just fucking everybody's that. It's like something out of a movie. Like you're playing for these fucking legions. It's like a battalion out there, man. You're just like, you could do no wrong. You would have to really be like, lousy to not. You could just fucking 3 chords to glory. The place is going nuts. It was cool. That was the biggest one of like us doing a festival. And then the other big ones were like Southern California, like Henry Fonda Theater. That was like us headlining, and there was like 1,000 people. We did that for a while, and then those are like the big ones that stick out. And then you go to like Europe, so there'll be like, Resurrections in Spain. There's some good ones that stick out,
like Hellfest or whatever. I think Hellfest is
that was
you guys
cool.
Yeah.
My favorite one was the Forced Attack. It doesn't happen anymore, but that was all like hardcore punk. And some of those like ones that are punk and metal, like Resurrection in Spain, they're just fucking awesome. You have like all people, and it's cool because it's like you get somebody like might be into punk more than metal or metal more than punk. So they'll like be like, you know what, I've been meaning to check this band out. Let me go see it. And maybe I wouldn't see it on my own kind of thing. And then you get like some new fans that way, you know, for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, those I love those festivals just because, like you said, they mix up the genres, and there's even some of them they throw hip hop acts in there. You know, it's good.
Yeah,
give people some culture, some choices. You know,
that's it.
Introduce them to some new things.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I want to go.
If you're checking out a song or two and it's not your thing, but you're like, oh shit, I can see how that people like that because live it's fucking awesome.
Right, and you see the audience actually reacting, and you see them like liking it. So that's it shows people, at least hopefully they're open enough to understand that. But like when you see other people enjoying something that in your head you're like, I don't like that, but at least you should have that where you see the people, you're like, well, maybe it's just me. You know, they don't suck. They don't suck. I just don't like them. But look at all these people; they love it. You know.
Yeah. And you get some good inspiration from it too. You know, like if someone's doing something different or new, you're like, oh shit, that like inspires me not to like copy it, but to be like, I wonder if I try this other thing, like maybe it'd be cool. You know, it's things like that like can help you like take your own shit to the next level.
Absolutely, man. I wanted to talk to you. You mentioned you wanted to be a rock star since you were a kid.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, you've been in the band since 1993. It's been a while now. You don't look that old. I mean, I look about the same age. I don't know.
I'm 44.
44. Okay, yeah, I'm turning 40 in November. So yeah, close. So you know, you started young. So how was that? Like, who was it that inspired you to become a rock star? What rock star did you see that was like, oh shit, I want to do that?
Yeah, you know, it was when I was really little. I remember my brother giving me like a Walkman, you know, like a fucking tape deck,
right?
Fucking Walkman. It was like this big, and then you just had headphones. And I remember being like, "Holy shit!" Like, yeah, I could hear these little, like, you know, you're just blown away. It was like something really strange. And the first cassettes I had was like, you know, I think I had Bon Jovi tape, and then
that's New Jersey as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey too, so I get it. I had Bon Jovi tapes too. I get it.
I don't hate those songs, man.
Yeah.
They're good. They're still good, of course, man. Those are anthems. But like I remember having that, and a few other ones like a Footloose soundtrack, Billy Idol and stuff like that. And then then later on you get into like the real shit, like okay, here's an Accused tape, and here's an Exploited tape, and Sex Pistols I had, and so I started getting way more into like punk. Yeah, at an early age, probably like honestly like 12, 13. By 13, I was definitely listening heavily to 80s punk rock, full on, and I started like collecting records and stuff. But it was those early, like just having those cassettes, and you listen to so much that you burnt them out. And it was just like, I remember being like, I don't know, man, rock and roll was like just like kind of something you need. I remember having those dreams, like, or daydreams in school, in like grade school, being like, I want to be the kid that like has a guitar and sunglasses and breaks through the doors. Like, just because you see all these videos, because MTV was on, right? And when you were a kid, after school, you would watch this shit. If you weren't, like, I wasn't like a football guy, I wasn't really doing that. I was kind of like more into fucking like being outdoors and like doing like shit like art and stuff. I was like drawing. I like listening to music, and so I started playing guitar and shit. But like it was kind of one of those things like, that's what you did, man. You got home and you watched what videos were on MTV. And a lot of the times it was the same ones over and over, but once in a while, like there'd be some cool, like late night shit on Headbangers Ball or something. So it's like just funny because I'm remembering these things, but like there's a part of me that even then, like, I want that. Like, I want to do that to some level or some extent.
Hell yeah, man. Were your parents supportive? Because I know a lot of punk comes from like rebellion and like, fuck you, dad, I'm going to, go do whatever the fuck I want. So were your parents supportive, or how was that for you growing up?
Yeah, well, so Well, my father passed when I was like 13, right?
Okay.
So then my mom was a single mom. She was taking care of me and my sister. My brother already moved. He was older than us, so he's already in college, kind of thing. Anyway, the short version is like she was very supportive, but I think in hindsight, like I think she was focused so much on doing what she had to do to keep the family like intact and taking care of all of us. She was a very strong woman to go through that. And then but at the same time, like I sort of was like skateboarding, like sneaking out of the house at night. So I didn't have like, I kind of like I could sort of do what I wanted to do, she kind of like accepted me as like a little small adult at that point,
Gotcha.
And so I was like skateboarding late at night and then listening to music all the time. And then as soon as I figured out how to go to shows in the city, like I would get on the bus and go to the city. And it was like she would give me like $20 for the weekend. Like I would spend it all on records and then mooch off my friends for like food. I wasn't really at that early. I wasn't really drinking yet, so I was going to shows, watching every band. I wasn't like cool yet, I was like like I was watching every band, trying to buy something from each band that played that night. If they had a 7-inch, or if they had a demo or something, I was like thirsty for it, So anyway, I think she was very supportive. When I joined the band, she was super like, she would get me the bus ticket. She would help me with that. But it was kind of like, I think it got in the way of me listening to records like till 2 a.m. and stuff like that. I think it definitely got in the way of my schooling a little bit. I was an okay student. I could have done a lot better. But I don't know, man. I just wanted to listen to like fucking UK82 7-inches all fucking night, and like just your imagination goes wild. Then you want to start writing music, and then I joined the band, and it was that, and then I finished high school, and then I was like, I want to hit the road, man, because the band was starting to hit the road. She supported me through all that. I think it was like maybe a little nerve-wracking, like, is my son making the right decision?
Well, of course, yeah. Parents, no matter what you do, they're going to think that, so.
Yeah, and that's the school back then was like, you got to get an education, which is still true to an extent. I just think our society tends to put a lot of the younger generation in the debt, so they have to. It's a weird system, we can pick that apart another time, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, well, here he goes, but I started traveling and shit, and I was like, kept it together to a certain extent.
Hell yeah. That's an interesting thing too that I wanted to bring up. I actually wrote it in my notes, like the balance that you got to keep, because the type of music and the style and the scene that you're in is very, it's carefree party, we're here to just rock. So, but how do you balance? I've been into that end of it where I would wake up in the morning and I had like $5 and it was like, well, do I eat or do I have a beer and go party?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
right.
And usually the choice was go party. So
yeah.
how do you find a balance of, trying to be a responsible adult and, you have a business to maintain at this point, you hate to say it, but the band is a business. This is your livelihood. So you have to treat it with, some respect and some professionalism, but also maintain the scene because that's what you are. So how do you deal with that?
I think that I agree with you, man. You gotta I've seen a lot of good bands go to the wayside because they're worried about what people think and they don't want to take that step. And God forbid they have to call their band a business. You don't have to call your band a business, but shouldn't you fucking care about it? Shouldn't you give like 100% in giving a shit about what you're doing, what your music is? And like we wanted to take a move. A long time ago, took some steps to make it so that we could fucking do this band 100% and tour all the time and actually really fucking do it for real. Because the idea was that, wouldn't that be fucking awesome? And I'm not into punk rock to have more parents or more cops telling me what to do. I shouldn't get that from the punk scene, or any scene for that matter. And like, it's funny because in other scenes, like in like, back then in the metal scene, people were like rooting for you to be like, take a step up. Punk was like the only thing like, fixated on you selling out. But you could look back in time of the history shit. People were mad at the Clash when they came out with their second album. They're still there. So like, I mean, like, fucking really, fuck off. You know, like, I could give a shit less. I'm not here because I need you to act like my fucking mom or a cop, you know. And my mom, she gets to say any of those things. But if she's not saying it, then fuck you, you know?
Right.
So it's like I said, man, you know, you don't want people that criticize you, like, they're doing less than you're doing. You know, they don't want you to go up. I don't know why. It's a fucking weird mindset. But, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, our first tour with, not our first tour, but one of the very first early ones where we branched out was with H2O and Bouncing Souls. And we had like, you know, some talks about it. We're like, all right, we're going to do this. It's going to be different, you know, because the bands aren't like exactly like us because we had played with only bands like us for so long. And we were just like, well, why not, man? They're not too far off from what we're doing. Like, you know, H2O is a cool hardcore band, and the Bouncing Souls was basically the Ramones. I don't know, you know, I thought it was cool. And we went, and we had a great fucking time, and we got a lot of fans from it. So it's like, you stop caring about all those little things. And so I was kind of like going with this. Where was I going with this? Well,
what I wanted to ask
yeah.
was what advice, so you mentioned that you took some steps for the band to make it a thing. I mean, you guys decided you took some steps to make it a thing. So what are those steps? Like, what advice can you give a young punk that's like worried about trying to sell? Like, I don't want to sell out, but I want to do this.
Yeah, I think that's such a. It's like when I hear people talking about people selling out, I think it's like it sounds like you're like a kid that's 14, still lives at your mom's house, saw someone say that on the internet, and you're saying that. It's like, it reminds me of what a child says, you know? And it's fine. It's just like, you don't get it until you have to pay like bills, you know, and shit like that. And to keep your art going, well, what would they be happy about if you fucking had to work at a fucking fast food restaurant? They would be happy if they saw you mopping floors rather than playing in your fucking band. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I have the advice: just go for it, dude. You got one life to live, you know. And I'm, I'm an adult now. I don't know how that sounds. Sounds weird, but like, you know, like, go for it, man. I still have a mohawk, tattoos on the side of my head, and I'm going to different countries once a year. It's fucking cool, dude. Yeah. Like, go for it in every sense. Don't listen to anybody. Care about what you do and keep the shit like consistent, I would say. But I would just, like I said, man, there's that famous saying, one life to live, and it really is true. And like, if you're a true punk or whatever rocker, you're not out there to have more cops and more parents. You're out there to do what you're doing, man. You know, so I'd say go for it 100%. If there's an opportunity, take it. Like Lemmy said, you got to be in the right place at the right time. It's true. But you can be in the right place at the right time and not take that opportunity. Or you can get every fucking opportunity you can get, which is what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to be willing to, you know, what they eat crow, as they say. You got to, you know, shower in the bathroom of a Walmart and fucking, you know, eat some shitty gas station food. You got to be willing to give away the comforts of, you know, normal society. If you want to be a punk, you don't live in that society. Go hit the road. It's going to suck, but you got to do it, you know?
Yeah. But there's also going to be beauty in that too. You're going to like, you can like just look at, you can go pull into a town, go see something cool, go get something weird to eat. Like and then meet some new friends, and who knows, dude, you can even like, I've met some great girlfriends that I've had for years on the road, you know? So like, you know, I've met, if I wasn't touring, I wouldn't have met them, or like great friends, or like great, managers that you tour so much, you do all this stuff, and you show that you're working hard, and when you work hard, things open up. That's the way I see it, hands down.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you still collect records? Are you still going to shows and buying stuff?
I still collect records, man.
Nice.
I love it. I'll never stop. I'm like, it's something like in life, you know, I know I'm not going to, fuck yeah, actually I'm going to take it. I'm taking them right to the grave.
Bury me with my records, motherfucker.
Yes. I think that it's like fun. It's like, you know, like, okay, like it's a fun thing to do. I want every one of them, but, you know, it's like anything, like that's the thing. You'll chase it, but you never get it. But it's kind of cool to like, cultivate that, especially when you're not just collecting, you're also seeing bands. That's important. Like when I see a band and they have an LP, like I always make an effort to get that LP and be like, I remember when I saw that band and here's the record from that day, you know, that shit was cool. And look, for a lot of the times in the 90s, there was a lot of 7-inches. Bands that I was into or playing with in the 90s didn't really have LPs out until the later 90s. And we're talking like Os Rotten, Blank 77, The Piss, which is another great band. There's so many cool bands from that era. But like I'm saying, those bands all like, and us too, didn't start putting out full lengths until like I would say the 95 was some band. 96, I would say 96 and upwards is when those bands weren't doing 7-inches. They were actually starting to put out full lengths.
Okay.
You know? And I remember when some of those bands dropped records, we all looked at each other and were like, dude, these you know, you never think 2.5 Children from Philly, they put out a fucking LP, and we were like, whoa, like all our peers are putting out fucking full lengths. And you don't think, I thought we were going to just do 7-inches forever. And then you're just like, oh shit, we can do a full fucking album? Holy shit. It just didn't seem like feasible. You know, you didn't think you could do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad.
That's the answer. That's the answer.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you are still buying records, man, because, you know, we are in a time now where people just don't buy records. They listen to it on Spotify or something, or they stream it, and it's not the same.
But
it's not the same.
They kind of did blow up again a little bit, like pressing plants right now are like 9 months behind.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a lot of like cool bands putting out records. I think it's more active than it's been. But I think in general in the society of some, it's more online for everything. But I'm happy. I don't see vinyl dying anytime soon, which is cool. It's nice for me.
Yeah. What are some of the most recent ones you got that you can like shout out that you like that you want to?
So I think that right now the Hats from Canada, they're really good. I like the New York Hounds. They just put out a cool album about maybe 2 years ago or something like that. And also that Chubby and the Gang record's pretty cool. I like the what else? Who else is coming out with cool shit?
You have checked out that Turnstile record?
No, you know what? I like the band. I don't know that, like, I don't have the record, but I've heard them, and it's they have a unique sound for sure, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not like I can't say I'm a huge fan because I don't. It would be I would be lying, you know.
Okay, all right.
I will check it out, but I don't have it.
Okay. Now I've had a few conversations with like punk dudes, like some of the guys, well, punk and thrash metal dudes that are into them a lot. Like I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they're good. They kind of sound like 311 meets punk, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, they look something's unique. I think that's great. I think there's a lot of when bands copy other bands too much. I think it's cool to have inspiration and then you put your spin on it. You know, everybody does shit like that, and then it's kind of neat. I think it's cool, and I have heard them. They're definitely a unique sounding band, so I wish them well.
Nice, man. So your tour is coming up. You're starting in November 4th in Austin, which is that. I mean, you mentioned one of your bandmates is living out there.
Actually.
Two of them, and I've been hearing some crazy stories about Austin. I come from Florida. I was in Jersey, then I went to Florida, and Florida's just the Wild West. But now I hear like Austin. I hear Austin is taking over as like, you know, we're trying to out Florida now.
Oh shit! I don't know if you can out Florida, man. I've had some of the best times in the fucking world in Florida. Nice. I love Florida, dude. I love Florida. They say that. What's that funny thing they're saying on? Someone said that if you Google your birthday, you put your birthday, and then you put Florida man, and see what comes up.
That is a real thing, and all of those are real. Whatever.
Yeah, there's some fucking crazy ones that come up. It's like,
yeah, man,
wild shit.
I've said this before on the podcast, but I think I lost you again.
See?
There we go. I lost you for a second. All right. No, I was saying that I was actually in the traffic when the dude ate the face. That bath salts incident where the guy was like,
yeah,
everybody thought the zombies were coming. And I was in the traffic when the cops were there. And I'm like, oh, what's happening now? And then I look it up. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
People are eating face.
The guy, he could have picked the better tasting human, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Jeez.
So tour is starting November 4th in Austin, and it's going through, how long does it go? Is it going into December? Because it's a U.S. winter tour.
Yeah, no, this one's actually just November.
Okay.
It's kind of, for us, it's like 3 weeks, but for us, that's kind of a short one. I'm like, well, what are we doing? Usually we'll go out for 2 months, and it's, I like that more, but, 3 weeks is cool. I think that, I love going to Europe for like 2 months. So to us, it's kind of like, okay, cool. But it's also good, like a nice little, intro back into that.
Right. You got to test the waters.
Yeah. See how it is. People better be doing circle bits. I don't give a fuck about this COVID shit.
Hell yeah. Before I wanted to ask you before we wrap up, you drink beers. You mentioned 6-packs or whatever. What's your favorite beer style to drink, and what if you're still in Jersey? And I know that like Hoboken and all that has like beer scenes, but like what bar, what scene is like the right place to go when you're in Jersey if you want to just have a good time, listen to some metal? Because I know New York CBGB's is gone and everything. So where do you go to hang out when you're at home?
Well, right now I'm in Montauk, right? So there's not much of the scene out here, but I'll go to like Memory Motel.
Okay.
Has a lot of good history. Like Rolling Stones used to kick it there, and they wrote a song. It's on the Black and Blue album, and it's called Memory Motel. But I like it. It's good drinking time there. Okay. If I'm going back down to the hood, the old hood, I'll go to like, in the city, I'll go to like St. Vitus. I like that.
Vitus is great.
Bar. Yeah, I love that fucking place. And I'll have like I think it's like the Bishop, where you get like a tall can and a shot for like $10. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, like I like IPAs. There's not much I don't like. I kind of feel like I'm a victim of liking those craft beers because I did the shitty ones for so long. So now I'm drinking like I want to drink a nicer beer.
Yeah, you got to change it up, man. All those shitty beers taste the same. So you got to get some different flavors,
And then you got to take like a million P's, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But like I like kind of looking at like, oh, okay, this is a strong beer right here, and then in the winter I want like those stouts, and then naturally in the summer you want to drink like a lighter beer or something.
Yeah.
The fruit I only have one to start with. I can't drink a whole 6-pack of fucking strawberry, whatever. Cherry.
I can't do the sours anymore. I used to be able to drink a couple, but like now it's just like I'll take a sip. It's like a sour candy. Like it's cool once, and then I'm good.
Yeah, you can almost finish a pint of anything.
Yeah,
like the cask ones, the cask. Those ones are pretty gnarly sometimes.
Yeah, because some of them aren't even like carbonated all that much, and if you're getting an authentic experience, they're like warm. Like in England and all that, they do it warm. They do cask beer like not refrigerated.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's a little odd.
They, in Spain they have those ciders that are like that, but they're good though.
Yeah.
You pour it from like high up. That's fucking awesome. It's fun to like try those different things when you travel around. There's a really cool bar that just opened up in Salt Lake City called Aces High. It's Aces High Saloon. It's by the guys from Endless Struggle. They're a punk band, and some of the guys did a bar there. And it's supposed to be awesome. I'm going to get to go there for my first time this tour.
Have you guys made a beer for yourself? Because, band beers are like popular these days. Have you done one?
No, but I want to. I want it to be the worst one you've ever had. I want it to be the strongest, like undrinkable.
Undrinkable.
Like you get through one pint, you have to go home.
Well then, we can work that out. Don't worry.
Yes.
You're talking to the rock and roll beer guy. We'll make it happen.
All right.
I'll talk to you.
No, we don't have one yet. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll talk to Mark. We'll arrange it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, man. Good luck on the road. I hope it's, enjoy every second of it. Like, we never know when another one of these lockdown situations will happen. So, I enjoy every second. I hope it's all amazing for you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time today. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, brother. Everybody that's watching and listening, if you're on the road, you're on the road. If you're out there, Texas, Tennessee, I see, Washington, Oregon, California, New Mexico, check out the tour. It's you guys and Piñata Protest, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, go get some tickets, go to see a show, and keep an eye. What's your social media thing again? Jake_Casualty?
Yep.
Follow him at Jake_Casualty. Check out the Casualties online. Go to you can get the merch at kingsroadmerch.com/the Casualties. But yeah, follow and support, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Take care.
Take care, brother.